welcome to your weekday Cup of the Word. Today we are in Acts chapter 7. Acts chapter 7 is not an easy chapter. It is the first martyrdom in the church, the first person to die for Christianity. Stephen is stoned in this chapter. Now Stephen, at the end of the last chapter, was brought up before the Jewish court by a mob. And they accuse him, the official accusation is that he blasphemes Moses and tells people not to obey the Old Testament law. Now here's the thing. Stephen's going to argue his point. And it's a very long chapter because it's a longer sermon. He's going to argue his point that he doesn't disobey Moses or blaspheme Moses. And he's going to argue that point by showing them in their law, the law they say he rejects, that he's right. He's going to start out by talking about Abraham and how Abraham left his country to create the nation that they are. And then he's going to talk about Joseph, Israel's son, and say Joseph saved the nation that God promised Abraham, even though his brothers rejected him. And then he's going to go on to Moses, and he's going to say Moses saved the nation out of Egypt, even after his brethren disowned him. And then he's going to go on to say when they were out in the wilderness, they forsook God and raised up a golden calf instead of worshiping God, but God took care of them anyways. And, and he's going to point out this idea that Israel has always resisted God in every way. And so in the same way that the Jews had resisted and rejected Joseph, the way they had rejected Moses, the way they rejected the Father, the way they rejected the Holy Spirit, they had also rejected the Son of God, Jesus. Now, Stephen's sermon, it's just right on the money. In fact, it's one of the best ways to very quickly study all of the Old Testament history in one small kind of Cliff Notes version. And the mob, they're cut to the heart, just like the people in Acts chapter 2 were cut to the heart. The difference, though, is in Acts chapter 2, they were humble and honest. In Acts chapter 7, it's a mob, and they gnash their teeth, they pick up their stones, and they kill Stephen. Acts chapter 7 ends with talking about and introducing us to a man by the name of Saul who held their coats while they stoned him. That's Saul, who will eventually become the Apostle Paul. That's Acts chapter 7, the first death for Christ in the entire New Testament. What a name Stephen has in eternity. To have that type of boldness and conviction. And with that, that's your Daily Cup.